you get out of here today.
Hey, man, they couldn't beat the SEC, so they brought that style to Ohio State and went to it. I'm with you, my man. It's different. I say it all the time. I'm not used to seeing spread offenses and going 400 or 500 yards. It's a different style of football, and you and I are kind of similar in the style of football I think that we like. Good football, regardless. But I'm a big guy. I'm defense. I believe with you. My dad always taught me that teams are built on the lines and from the trenches out, stuff like that. We've got a lot of the same base tenets, so I understand where you're coming from with that one there. Definitely a different brand of Buckeyes football than what a lot of people are used to. BSK, Kendall Lewis, we hit a lot. We're talking Cavs, Browns, Buckeyes. Thank you so much. Every Thursday, always a great conversation having you here. And remember, you guys can check out Kendall, your podcast drop on More Than a Fan Cleveland and at thebsksays.com. Right, Kendall?
Yep, I got one up right now about Ohio State. Tomorrow there'll be one dropping about the weekly Browns Outlook, where I'll tell you how the Browns can win and what will happen if they don't take care of their business, and a whole lot more, man. I'm getting fired up this time of year. And what better time of year is it? World Series, college football's heating up, pro football is heating up, basketball is starting, hockey, everything is going on right now. So yeah, join me at the More Than a Fan, and check me out at the BSK Says.
All of that. High school football playoffs are rolling, man. It's the time of year if you're a sports fan to be into it. Kendall Lewis, BSK, thank you so much for another great conversation. We'll see you next week.
All right, see you.
You got it. Kendall Lewis, the BSK. Tweet with them at the BSK Says. He's here every Thursday kicking us off on the show. Let's roll on. He brought up the World Series. Let's get back to it. Let's get Mike Brandenberry on. We'll get some news out of the way, get you caught up with the news break, come back. Mike Brandenberry from DidTheTribeWinLastNight.com. Let's talk Madison Bumgarner. And the second that the Giants got a lead, they said, that's it. Send in the boss. Send in Bruce Springsteen. We're going home, baby. And what a game. And I'm telling you, that end of that game, I thought for sure Kansas City was going to find a way to do it again. I said, come on. They're going to kick the ball around the outfield and blow Bumgarner's dream ending here into smithereens. But they didn't. What a game. We'll talk about the World Series, talk about all the stories coming out of it. Now the offseason has begun. Time for teams to get to work, including the Indians. Mike Brandenberry joining us next to talk about it. Hour 2, BJ Rudell, Eddy, Jansen, More Than a Fan Cleveland. We're talking fantasy football. Getting you ready for the Cavaliers to tip off a big season, a big tip-off coming tonight, and so much more. Don't go anywhere. News, Mike Brandenberry, coming up next here on The Fix.
We here at the Sports Fix want to make all of your dreams come true.
What about my dream?
Edith, I told you I can't build your candy house. It will fall down. The sun will melt the candy. It won't work.
It will if it never rains.
Oh, maybe not all of them. Get your fix on the Sports Fix.
Guys, want to take just a second as we head into this break and remind you about the official business printing source of the Sports Fix, our friends at Signs and Ship. Signs and Ship, I'm telling you, Chris and Pam, they've taken care of me since day one, and they can do the same for you. Whether you're a small business that's already been established and you're looking to grow to that next level and expand your business, or perhaps you've got an idea that you just know is going to be a great business and you need to figure out how to brand it and how to promote it and put it out there, Signs and Ship is the place for you. If you need a logo, they can create one for you. They have a fantastic graphic designer. Business cards, signs, banners, yard signs, mobile advertising, anything you can think of that you need to promote your business, they've got it at Signs and Ship. The best thing about them, too, is each of their locations, whether it's the home base here in Elyria, Ohio that I work with, or their spots in Virginia, Florida, and Pennsylvania, it's all local sourced. Very important to me because we all understand that small business is the lifeblood of the community. So check them out, signsandship.com, or call Chris and Pam today, 440-323-6060, the home office in Elyria, Ohio. Signs and Ship, quality printing at affordable prices.
This is head coach Gary Waters at Cleveland State, and you're listening to the Sports Fix.
Whether it's an oil change or a new set of tires, Quick Lane at Valley Ford Truck has you covered for your automotive car care needs. They're your neighborhood quick service experts. They also offer a low price tire guarantee. Choose from 13 brands, and if you find the same tires at a lower price within 30 days, Quick Lane at Valley Ford will refund the difference. They're open late Monday through Thursday until 9 p.m. and open early Saturday so you can check it off your to-do list and get on with your day. They also have a newly remodeled service lounge and additional service bay just for Quick Lane oil changes. Quick Lane 15 Canal Road, right under the 480 Bridge, Independence. 5715 Canal Road, right under the 480 Bridge in Valley View, just down the road from Independence. Come see why life is better in the Quick Lane. QuickLane.com/Valley Ford Truck. That's QuickLane.com/Valley Ford Truck.
Business owners and professionals, do you want to take your business, your product, your team, your event to the next level? You want to advertise right here with the Sports Fix. Our listeners are among the most loyal listeners, terrestrial or internet. The Sports Fix universe is not only the radio show, but tens of thousands of fans on Facebook and Twitter. Email me, Jerry Myers, thesportsfix@AOL.com. That's thesportsfix@AOL.com. And let me help you swing for the fences and hit it out of the park right here on the Sports Fix.
The Sports Fix is now available every day on the world's largest internet radio service, iHeartRadio. Download the free iHeartRadio app, subscribe to the show, and get your fix.
News break. Good morning, I'm Bob Picozzi. He has now pitched in 36 innings in the World Series in his career, and Madison Bumgarner has allowed 1 run. After throwing 117 pitches on Sunday, the 25-year-old southpaw on only 2 days' rest came out of the bullpen last night to toss 5 shutout innings in a 3-2 Game 7 win of the Royals to give the Giants their 3rd World Series championship in the last 5 years.
There was nothing. I was just concentrating on making pitches. I wasn't thinking about how many innings I was going to go or how many pitches or any of that. Just thinking about getting out.
Michael Morse's 4th inning single snapped a 2-2 tie. It's the 8th World Series title for the Giants. According to ESPN and media reports, former Rays manager Joe Maddon is on the verge of becoming the new manager of the Cubs. Last Friday, he opted out of the final year of his contract with Tampa Bay. First place in the NFC North will be on the line tonight when 3-1 Carolina hosts 3-4 New Orleans. The Saints are 3-0 at home this season, 0-4 on the road. Golden State Warriors general manager Bob Myers tells 95.7 The Game he expects contract talks with guard Klay Thompson to continue on a daily basis.
The National Championship Trophy, presented by Dr. Pepper, the most glorious trophy in mankind's history. So amazing. I wish you could see it through the radio. Dr. Pepper, it's a one-of-a-kind season.
Now, back to the Sports Fix.
Welcome back to the Sports Fix Live as we roll on, getting ready to kick hour 2 off here on the Sports Fix across the Sports Fix Radio Network. J-Rock back with you, rolling on. Thanks to Kendall Lewis, the BSK, for joining us there. Thanks to you guys for keeping the conversation rolling. I caught up to the chat room there in the break, 100-some comments later during that last segment. Thanks to you guys. Hey, phones aren't open, but you can keep it rolling. Facebook.com/thesportsfix. Tweet with us at the Sports Fix CLE. Email us thesportsfix@AOL.com. Can't go to the phones because Mike Brandenberry from DidTheTryWinLastNight.com getting ready to join us now. They wrapped up the World Series last night, and I was talking about it. You heard some of it during the break. I mean, we'll get into some of this here. Madison Bumgarner, just ridiculously sick. I believe he was at nearly 300 pitches for the World Series in his multiple appearances. Just unreal there. Great stuff. One of the best performances in World Series history. Matter of fact, the list of guys, it's amazing, of pitchers who had 2 or more wins, 20 innings pitched, and a sub-.5 ERA in a World Series. It's all Hall of Famers, by the way. It's Christy Mathewson. It's Waite Hoyt. It's Carl Hubble. It's Sandy Koufax and Madison Bumgarner. And the first one since 1965. That'll show you. I mean, I think when you look at the offensive eras that we've gone through, that's what makes pitching performances like that nowadays stand out even more because they're that much harder to accomplish just because of the way it goes. I'll tell you, even last night, you're absolutely right, Keith, with the way he places the ball and the way he pitches. I thought Kansas City had a chance to get him in that first inning that he was in. Thought for sure he was a little wild, for him, I should say, a little wild, but, they got the runner to second, and then they're up there swinging at the first pitch, swinging at high balls, and bailing him out when at first he didn't have his command, and then that was it. Once you let him get warmed up and he got an inning under his belt, then it was over. But I thought Kansas City bailed him out there in that first inning that he was in. Let's go to the phones. Let's talk to Mike Brandenberry from DidTheTribeWinLastNight.com right now about all of that and so much more. Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Jerry. How are you?
Hey, I'm fantastic, man. Here we sit. Man, long journey. First day of the next baseball season as the official season ended last night. But, man, you heard what I was talking about before you came on, man. What a way to end that series. Great series, back and forth. And then you wouldn't expect a Game 7, especially involving the Royals, to end any differently than it did last night. And, man, tell me that you didn't think at the end of the game, after all that brilliant pitching, that when they're fumbling that ball around out there in the outfield and Gordon's racing towards third, you're going, get out of here. Are they seriously going to, kick the ball until he scores? I was having a Kenny Lofton flashback right there because when they held him up, I was almost sure that the coach on the next play was caught on camera mouthing to him, I should have sent you. I'm almost positive he was saying that when the camera got on his face. But what were your thoughts there? Were you flashing back to Kenny Lofton getting held up at third?
I wasn't thinking of Kenny Lofton getting held up because Alex Gordon and Kenny Lofton will never be compared. I think in any other regard. But what's funny is when they continued to fumble that thing in the outfield, I definitely did think, oh my, things happen so fast. And, I was thinking in my mind, oh my God, is this World Series, is this gem that Madison Bumgarner is working on, this chapter, because when you go back and you read, the story of the 2014 World Series, it's going to be the Madison Bumgarner story. I'm like, is the final chapter of this story really going to be that, these two jabronis out in the outfield couldn't pick the ball up and Alex Gordon races all the way around for a Little League home run to tie the World Series? I mean, you want to talk about the Giants, getting really old school, if you know the story of Merkel's boner and how the Chicago Cubs won their last World Series in 1908. They would have had those guys propped right up there next to Merkel if Gordon would have come around and scored. I didn't think that he would have scored. I
thought he would have got thrown out. Yeah, it would have been close. With all things considered, maybe you take a shot at it, but I don't know that you want to end a World Series, especially with a core guy like Salvador Perez on deck, coming to the plate. I don't know if you want to end a World Series getting Alex Gordon punched out at the plate by 25 feet, but if they would have missed the cutoff, man, which, the way the first, 9/10 of that play, rolled out, it was definitely possible. But if they would have missed the cutoff, man, he could have scored. But I think Brandon Crawford would have thrown him out pretty easily at the plate. But the way things were going, yeah, man, for all of our jokes about destiny all summer and fall, when Blanco lets that ball get by him and it goes to the wall and Juan Perez can't pick it up, I'm thinking, is this really meant to be, are we, has Madison Bumgarner been so dominant tonight and he's going to uncork a wild pitch or a pass ball and that's how this game's going to tie? Because you could almost see it coming because the Royals couldn't hit them. So it was like, how else are they going to score without a hit? Right. I'm telling you, man, I was right there with you. And I agree. I would have, I guess, hindsight being 2020, I'd have rather taken a chance of getting thrown out at the plate than popping out to third there. But, and man, I'm telling you, man, Kansas City, I know maybe you'll disagree, but they tightened up down at the end of that game, man. I mean, did you see that first inning when Bumgarner came on? Do you agree they had a chance to get him right there? They had the runner at second. He was a little bit wild. He was not, into his zone yet.
Yeah.
And they're up there